Hey everyone, and welcome to People Plus. My name's Erik Thor, and this video is going to be about vegans and vegetarians. And vegans and vegetarians are among the most hated in movies and literature. They are constantly ridiculed, and overall they have a very low social capital. They have a very low overall capital in the society today. And this is very telling from a personality perspective, because one of the groups that have the lowest status in society are the NFs. And this is a result of the fact that they have inferior sensing and thinking. Sensing and thinking plays a role in status, in attaining physical rewards, money, anything that shows your worth, as well as social capital from the sensing and feeling process. And all this tells us that NFs have low capital because they aren't interested in capital. Their primary motivation isn't to receive positive feedback for what they do. You don't choose to be a vegetarian because you want to be liked. You do it because you feel that it is the good choice inside you. You feel like you know that you want to be a good person, and you know that even if animals won't thank you for what you did, you will feel inner gratitude for what you do. And this is true for many causes. Men aren't thanked exactly for doing feminist work in the feminist groups, and we don't ask to be thanked for what we do. We consider it something that everyone should do, regardless of social appreciation. And it's the same when fighting for anti-racist causes and other causes. You are generally viewed with suspicion from the groups that you are working towards. The thing is, NFs tend to pursue all of these causes. Some go vegetarian, some go anti-racist, some go feminist, some do it all. And they do it because because they are intrinsically motivated. They are driven from a reward on the inside rather than on the outside. Overall, for Western vegetarians and vegans, making the choice to be vegetarian is extremely difficult, because when you go to the restaurant, there is no alternatives for you. When you go to your friend's house and they make you food, they don't know how to make you vegetarian food. So you get into a lot of complicated situations, and it was complicated to begin with because often you were grown up on a diet that consisted largely of meat. Because in the Western society we overconsume meat, and because of this you have little experience in making vegetarian food and vegetarian recipes. So vegetarians have to learn everything from scratch, which means it's a very creative outlet to make a vegetarian choice in Western society. Overall, making the choice to go vegetarian indicates that you are a very creative person who is interested in learning new things and taking yourself outside of your comfort zone. Even before you make the choice to go vegetarian, you will feel driven to question yourself on this issue. You will think back and forth many times. You will consider every argument, every philosophical argument you can find, and you will look at vegetarianism as an existential issue. So you will consider how do animals feel? Why do they feel? What gives us the rights as humans to choose to eat animals? What is wrong with eating meat? Is it just the industrialized production, or is it the overall concept? And why since we've eaten meat for all this time, what makes it wrong now all of a sudden? Vegetarians have to think up philosophical answers. They'll have to look at a lot of existential issues. They'll often read up on different philosophers. They'll have tons of discussions, and when they make the choice, they expect to be attacked for it. Because a lot of people will question your decision. They will feel threatened by what you do, and and you will be the one that is the target of most attacks. In videos and in movies, vegetarians are extremely strawmanned, and usually it's hard to find vegetarian types in movies that actually portray vegetarians accurately. There is one, however, for example, Lisa Simpson. Lisa Simpson actually, in the episode where she goes vegetarian, Simpsons as a movie really makes the cause for vegetarianism extremely simple. And generally, even Gordon Ramsay and other now known outspoken vegetarian haters say that when they read up on the issue of eating meat, they understood. They say that, well, seeing slaughter can make anyone turn vegetarian. Vegetarians display a lot of quirks, and usually their tendency towards existential reasoning, towards creativity, towards learning new things, towards making a stand that shows that they are intrinsically motivated, all of this points to the fact that vegetarians are intuitive feelers. They use the abstract and organic state a lot in the brain. They use something called the default mode network, which you use to think about underlying motivations, to study how an animal might be feeling on the inside, rather than looking towards what they are saying and what they are actually doing. And you usually use the frontopolar network because overall this is a very complex issue to deal with and it requires a lot of complex reasoning. So, to conclude, if you are a vegetarian, you should definitely check out if you might also be highly sensitive, because highly sensitive people tend to show a rich, complicated inner life. They tend to have troubles separating their own emotions from the emotions of others, and they tend to have stronger reactions to injustice and to problems in the world than other types do. Some personality types in the MBTI which are related to who often choose vegetarian diets are INFPs, INFJs, ENFPs, and sometimes ENFJs. So if you still feel like vegetarians are stupid and that they aren't read up, that they don't know their shit, then you should probably go back to the reading bench, because most studies show that vegetarians are more intelligent than average. They are usually more aware and empathic than other people are, and they are usually extremely courageous, extremely brave to make a choice that goes against the norms in society. And this shows that they are more creative, they are more likely to end up inventing cool new things that we all can have a better life thanks to, and they are likely to be the front runners of most social changes in the world, in most social movements that make the world a better place. So don't count vegetarians out just yet.